for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Suite C in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
And good morning. Welcome to another edition of JoCo Vibes. It's a great Thursday morning. It's a thankful Thursday. And we have some wonderful guests in the room with us today. We have Lisa Schwartz and
Liz Hargrove.
I'm sorry. I got in here and I started getting stuff ready and then I didn't realize we didn't talk.
Yeah.
For City on the Hill. Y'all want to tell us a little about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So City on a Hill, we started that in 2013, maybe 2012. We can't remember.
I think it was 2012.
2012. And obviously we've not been able to have it for the last 3 years. In 2019, it was rained out, 2020 pandemic, 2021 pandemic, of course. So we're very excited to bring it back. And the entire purpose of the event is really to cultivate an atmosphere of collaboration where we can celebrate all the different services, organizations, churches, businesses that collaborate together to make us a community. So it's our way of really giving back to the community by giving an opportunity to all businesses to vendor at no cost, but also then bring an activity, some kind of a free activity to give back to the community. So kind of the theme of the entire thing is it's free, right? It's free to all the vendors. It's free to everybody who shows up, kiddos who participate. You get your face painted for free. You can bounce in a bounce house for free. And so we're looking forward to bringing it back this year. Liz gets a little antsy when she doesn't have enough to do. So, yeah, we're very excited about it. Obviously partnering with the city again, partnering with the chamber as well, using the school district, which right there you get the opportunity to see, that the 4 pillars of a community, meaning your government, your schools, your businesses, and your nonprofits are all coming in one playing field at one time.
And working together.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And we, I started this because, as a nonprofit, when I was getting started out, every opportunity that I had to share my mission, it cost me money. And I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. I'm just saying it is what it is. Right. And so I was like, I would love to just create an opportunity for all your local nonprofits to be able to share about their mission at no cost. And so the first year we did it really honestly was for just nonprofits, but we had a lot of businesses approach us and we're like, hey, we'd love to be able to do this as well. And then we've slowly migrated over the years to where, it used to be you couldn't do any selling other than food, but this year actually we're allowing people to sell as well. Okay. So there'll be small business owners, paparazzi, a couple other a couple people who just maybe make things in their own home. And again, don't have to pay that $75, $85, $150 vendor fee to come and sell.
Awesome. Wonderful. Tiffany, where you lost her. I looked over and she's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So, I remember the 2019 one. And then of course the pandemic hit.
Right. Oh. Yeah. And 2019 is when JoCo radio came in clutch and was like, hey, it's rained out, but I will open up the studio. Tiffany opened up the studio and we put together a schedule where we offered it to vendors to be able to come in and just kind of talk about their business, which I feel like was super effective.
Great.
It really came out really well. We had a really good business response. I was honestly surprised at how many business vendors last minute, but they already had blocked out the day. Right. So that was a fun improv.
Vendors, city council. There was city council. There was oh my gosh, my brain is stalling. The chamber came in. There was a lot of people involved. It was insane.
Yeah, I was
awesome.
And I think, not that it matters, but honestly, Tiffany made that call to me and was like, hey, how can I help? Can you use my studio? I want you guys to still see this event come to pass. And really just last minute brainstormed, and I'm a 7 on the Enneagram. I think maybe she's got a wing of a 7 as well. So we were like, let's just do it and see what happens. And it was fun.
Right.
It was a blast.
It was fun. It was super effective as well.
It was really interesting to see the people too who were willing to come out in that storm, because that was such an insane storm that day too. And the people who were watching it, right? And the people who were willing to come in and brave the storm and be a part of this, it just made it that more exciting that year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was the last one, right? Because then it was the pandemic.
Yeah, it was the last one. So in 2020, obviously everybody was, we had pandemic, so nobody was coming out. And then 2021 was when the schools still weren't allowing anybody to do anything on their school property, and things were still a little sketchy. Like people were still, still there was still just a lot of that fear out there. We weren't on the other side of the pandemic,
right?
So,
and here we are today.
Yeah, here we are today. So we're very excited about it. Liz actually does a lot of the operations management on the backside, and I like to tell people, when you hire somebody that's going to do better than you did it. And when I started City on a Hill, that first year I told you it was nonprofits, and I think there was 11, maybe 12 vendors that came out. And a lot of people would have probably quit at that point. I'm not a quitter. It's not in my DNA at all. There are times when I'm like, I should be quitting and I just can't quit. But I just really was confident that God had put it in me that the best way really to raise money is to pour into your community. And he really kind of taught me the whole, because at that point I was new in ministry, and I was like, how do you raise money? And the Lord was like, sow seed. Sow seed. The more you sow seed, the more you will reap fruit. And that was really the word behind City on a Hill was, okay, what can we do to start serving our community better? So when Liz came on, she actually came on like within a month or two of that very first one. It's just kind of as a volunteer to kind of help. And I think she kind of looked around, and she's comes from an event building background as an event planner, and was like, I can help you take this to the next level. And so it has grown since. I think our biggest one was 147 vendors in 2018. We have 47 vendors signed up already this year, which is really quite a few for being that we're still 3 or 4 weeks out. Most people sign up for events, especially now with the pandemic. It was bad before, but now it's even worse.
Right.
They wait till 5 or 6 days. And if that's you, if you're a business and you're listening, you can do that because we don't give you vendor spots. You just show up, you pick a parking spot. And so you can be next to your friend. You can be next to your not friend. It doesn't matter. You're going to show up. There's a particular time set aside for setup, and you just come and you pick up parking space and you set up your stuff. And so that makes it super easy. I think Liz was genius in doing that.
Yes. I would say we tried to assign spaces the first few years and came to it's way more efficient to just let them file in, first come, first serve. We line them up and just one after another, get them all laid out so quick.
And my son, Turner Schwartz, he's the youth pastor at Calvary Church, has always organized the setup committee. So he has probably some 15 to 20 youth, college kids, couple of adults or whatever and they break into teams. And when you pull in, they're unloading you and they're helping you set up. So it's super fast. So if you show up to an event, you've got your suitcase, you've got your table, you got your tent, you got your this, and you're lugging it all in. Well, this way you can pull your car in, you open up your trunk, and there will be a team right there that helps you unload. You shut your trunk, you drive off, and they put all your stuff in your space for you.
They'll get your they'll get your tent up for you. They'll get your table set, and you
especially when you're by yourself. Those tents are not fun.
Yes, I know. So we try to, and honestly, that's one of the number one feedbacks we've had over the years is your setup team was so amazing. I don't go to any other event where somebody helps me set up my stuff and helps me.
There's nothing like that.
Yes. So again, that goes back to how do we serve our community better, And so for me, I love that feedback that people are like, oh, your kids were so fun and they were so helpful and they didn't let me lift a thing. And so we love that.
That's great. That is great. And how old is your son?
Now he's 28.
28.
Yeah.
Well, and so he was still in his 20s, but I mean,
yes,
that's a great thing for him to take on.
Yes. Even when he was in college back in Illinois, he would come home every year for City on a Hill. I mean, he's been at every single one and has organized and coordinated that setup time and then the tear down as well. So same thing when they tear down, we help them tear down. Awesome. And so again, we just feel like it's part of serving our community and serving local businesses. And as a ministry, we can't do what we do without the support of local businesses and governments, organizations. And so, and we can't, we can now, and we are getting to a place where we like to sponsor things as well. But what we're known for is serving, right? And so we don't want to just serve the homeless or people who need counseling. We want to serve our local businesses, our local governments, and our local agencies as well. So that's just our way of giving back.
What do you think the greatest takeaway is for your small business owners or the people who attend? What do you think their greatest takeaway is from the event?
I would say just being able to enjoy a day of free fun. So I think that as a business owner, not having that additional expense, not having to, again, lug all that stuff around. You do have a very easy day of being able to advertise yourself. So that's something that I at least say to them when we're suggesting people come out. I'm like, hey, it's free for you. It's a fun day. I was like, what it ends up looking like is one large free fun day.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that rocks for your business and that rocks for our patrons coming through,
Right.
being able to learn.
Mhm.
So we have the nonprofits sharing about their services. We have the churches sharing about their organizations. We have the businesses promoting their business. I'm like, you get the best of both worlds. You get to walk, your kids get to have all this free fun, and you get to learn about stuff in your community that you may not know of.
Yeah. I mean, you just can't you can't argue the ROI in that. You know, when you think about the return on your investment, all you're investing is your time. And I like to tell people like, hey, we're teeing the ball up for you. We're paying for it. We're setting it up. We're organizing it. Just show up and interface with your community. Did that answer your question, Tiffany?
It does. I mean, and do you have any special performances this year?
Liz.
Oh, so far we're I know we have Francis Lee Dance is on our stage, and we are coordinating with the Brick on getting a few of their programs, their little dance kids and whatnot up there. But that is an area we're still looking for. So we'll go ahead and throw that out there. If you do provide some kind of entertainment, I did have so we are a Johnson County and surrounding areas event. So I did just talk to the choir director at Cleburne High, and he's going to work on getting a few of his students together. So
I've been in conversations with Mr. Cooley at Centennial High School, and so he's looking to see if he can coordinate some things. But that is an area where there's still some space time left for, you know, I think in the past we've had, you know, Taekwondo, we've had, like she said, the Brick, they've brought out some of their exercise classes, which was just super fun.
Great, yeah.
Because it really gets the community involved, and they will start doing it with them and all that. And so we've had a couple of dance studios that signed up, but then had to back out because they don't have enough kids that they can bring. And so, but you know, we're never really concerned about any of that. At noon, of course, we have our prayer time. So we do kind of an all community prayer time right at noon. So we have Kenneth and Courtney Clary coming to kind of lead that time of worship. It's usually about 10 minutes where we just stand in front of the stage and hold hands and just pray openly for our community, for our businesses. We encourage local politicians, if they're interested, to come and receive some prayer. And so we're very excited about that as well.
Fantastic. What do you think? What do you think you want? What do you think you'd like to see? And you might not be able to answer this question until, you know, after this event, but I mean, where do you want to see it go next year and the years to come?
Liz probably has a greater vision for that than I do. I mean, I do, but because it's kind of her lane, I kind of give her free reign.
That's awesome.
Well, that question is really towards both of you.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll answer it first. For me, I think I'd like to see it obviously grow. I'd like to see it become more of a Johnson County event. You know, it has started in Burleson. Obviously, Burleson supports it. Burleson Chamber supports it. But we do want it to be more a Johnson County event. So we're very excited that we have quite a few people, even from like Waxahachie, Fort Worth, coming in this year to set up. We do partner with the city in getting the Hot Mott grant. And so, you know, we want to bring people in from out of town. We'd like it to be bigger. We'd like it to be just a giant free festival. I'd like to see possibly an extension on the time frame. You know, if we a lot of that kind of comes down to the amount of entertainment that you get up there. It's a long day. We used to do 10 to 3, and we've actually have shrunk it to 10 to 2 because it seems like right around 2 o'clock, all the businesses started tearing down. They had places to go, and they, you know, and it seemed like that was when a lot of the families showed up. You know, there was a lot of people from 10 to 2. And so we just kind of, you know, we do evaluations every year as far as like, we want your feedback. And that was kind of I think the biggest feedback was that they wanted us to shrink the time. And so we're like, okay, we hear you. We'll shrink it. It's easier for us to shrink it. But I mean, Tiffany, you know me really well to say the best way I can answer that question is I want it to grow. You know, I want it to become a greater opportunity, not just for businesses in Burleson, but for businesses across Johnson County. How about you?
Definitely that's some other, I'm going to say wild hair dreams. So, and like literal dreams at night that I've had would be that somehow it contains a concert. So rather that's the night before or the night after or of, that we have this 10 to 2
Mhm.
event, and then we all regather for a concert of some kind.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So those are just one of them. Somehow I've always pictured as something big at some point in there.
Right.
And becoming more like a weekend event is
Mhm.
kind of what she has
Yeah.
envisioned. You know, we usually set up the city stage the night before anyways.
Right. It's already
So we're
set
like,
up.
hey, anybody want to take advantage of it? You know, so
We definitely, I'm sure we have some local artists that would love
Mhm.
to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do I reflect upon your Mayfest, your Grapevine Fest,
Mhm.
and I'm like, that's that kind of growth, that kind of entertainment, that kind of all day
Mhm.
fun is
Right.
what I would love to see,
Mhm.
kind
Yeah.
of growth wise.
without losing that 10 to 2 or that time frame where we're also using the stage to spotlight
Right.
local kids and community, and right, so while we obviously would love to bring in large, you hit the nail on the head with like local really is kind of the whole thing is about basically celebrating our community.
Right.
And so when we put kids up there, it's like, look at what Studio C is doing, what Francis Lee is doing, you know. And so we love being able to highlight and provide that opportunity to put the local choir or the local band up there. So
we went to the Cleburne Luncheon yesterday, and they had an elementary choir that sang. It was beautiful. And then there was a high school student. Oh my gosh.
There's so much talent.
We have we do have their names. So if you want to reach out to them, they were great.
Definitely had a conversation with them.
Okay.
So we're looking at
they're in
schedules.
process. Yeah.
So yeah, they were great. And you know, we have so many great talented kids
Yes.
in the community. And when I
Yeah.
say community, I'm talking about Johnson County.
Mhm.
So I mean, we've been trying to get the girls for the pageant girls, Miss Burleson and Miss Joshua and their outstanding teens. And still people do not know, you know, hey, we're here.
Yes.
So we're working on that. And we're also working on expanding out to more cities in Johnson County. So that's great. So maybe we can talk Diana to talk to the girls to get a couple of the girls out.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our Miss Burleson and Miss Teen Burleson.
Oh my gosh, they should set up a booth where kids can come, like little
They're
kids would dig doing, you know,
So
doing
I'll
a picture with them, and
We'll
you know,
reach out to them and see if they can.
Well, in that, remind everybody what the date is.
So it's May 21st. So a Saturday, May 21st from 10 to 2, and it's at Burleson High School in the front of the school. So where the flagpole would be. And so there will be a food court. We'll have food there, lots of treats. I'm kind of excited about some of the treats that we're seeing. This Tastier Texas. What is this? I'm trying to look for it on our list.
Oh,
but they're from Fort Worth.
Is it a sweet treat?
Yes.
It's Tastier in Texas. And they're bringing cupcakes, cake balls, sugar cookies, dipped strawberries, dipped pretzels, brownies. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, there goes any of the diet.
Yeah. So they're
But
on
I'll
there.
eat
Of
it.
course, Moretti's will be there. Moretti's has always been in there in the past, even before I owned it. But we own it now, so obviously we'll be there as well. So you can get popcorn. We've been in conversations with Old Texas. They've been in there in the past, so I've been talking with Jamie. She's trying to work out her schedule to where she can be there to sell brisket. And so there is lunch. There are trucks there. We have all that going on. We have a lot of fun services this year as well. So tell them a little bit about Texas Health Hughley and what they're bringing.
Okay, I'm like, so excited because I love to partner with the community. So Texas Health is bringing 2 trucks, one truck van or bus down from Fort Worth, from their hospital up there, and they're providing free mammograms and free well woman checks.
Oh wow, that's great!
Huge. And I was sharing with Lisa earlier this year that I've actually gotten letters back. So they've participated one other time, and just that one event they participated, I got a letter back saying that they had found, was it 3? I don't remember what I told.
That's 3.
It was 3. I was like, oh gosh, was it 2 or 3? 3 patients. So I don't get, of course, any details besides they have found 3 patients that have had masses in their breast. So to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, very excited about that.
It's huge. They're also doing a vaccination clinic And then the mobile bus here from Hughley will be there as well. And they're our kind of first aid provider, as well as doing like blood pressure screenings and health screenings and stuff like that.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
That's a huge service to the community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
So, and they've been great supporters of our communities and Johnson
Yes.
County in
Oh,
general.
Yes, and in fact, they are our stage sponsor every year as well. So not only are they going to be there providing free services to the community, but they're one of our larger sponsors of the event as well. So, and Carter Blood.
I was going to say we are doing a blood drive as well. They had said event-wise, we're one of the wonderful events that they get a ton of blood from. So they're super excited. We're holding
Huge. Just makes me laugh. I don't know why.
There's a huge
It's a blood giving
too.
event.
Go blood. And we have a huge shortage of
There
blood
is
right
a big
now.
shortage of blood.
So we're super excited about
So
that
if people
opportunity.
come, I'm curious because I don't know how this works. If people come, do they just sign up when they're there to give blood?
Yes. They would love for me to collect names ahead of time. So you can shoot me an email and say, yes, I plan to attend. Here's my information. That would be wonderful.
Same with the mammogram screening as well. Like if you're listening, you're like, ooh, I need a mammogram. Never had one. I don't want to have to pay for it. I can't pay for it.
Right.
Whatever. You can.
I'm gonna say mammograms and the well woman. I can physically schedule you for that. I can say, hey, you're gonna be here at 11 o'clock.
So she's like a nurse right now.
I can do
like
it.
She just does everything.
In the books.
But that's huge, and people don't think about that. And it's usually, especially for moms, and if you're in a situation where your family's struggling, mom puts herself to the back burner
always,
and those things don't get done. So this is huge. So I'm hoping conversations have taken place with Harvest House.
Yeah.
And
yes, they're all signed up.
Fantastic. I mean, get the clients in there and get them taken care of.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, you were talking about Old Texas Brewery in Old Town Burleson, and is under new ownership.
Yes.
And so congratulations to the
To
Waddell
them.
family.
Yes.
It's official and can be officially talked
official,
about.
yes.
So this will be their first year as participating in City on a Hill as new owners. And Dina and Rick have been Hazen, who have been fabulous supporters in the past.
For sure.
And they're opening
up in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
They're actually
from,
I know one is official. And just the second,
look at I was like staring at you.
the second place might be unofficial as of yet, but
we don't know. We don't know.
So
We don't
excited
know
for them
anything.
and what they've got coming in the future too. I'm sure we'll still see them around Burleson. Right.
Yeah.
So that's all super exciting. Also super exciting. And I'll say somewhat breaking information, because you're talking about taking City on a Hill to a bigger scope and to a Johnson County. So we are actually in the works of with some partners in Cleburne and other areas of Johnson County to hold our first JoCo Fest.
Very cool.
So it will be in Cleburne. At an undisclosed location at this moment.
And cool one.
Yes, our board is actually getting, and we'd love to invite you guys to be a part of it. And, instead of having this, City on a Hill, and for people who don't know what City on a Hill stands for, I mean, it is Burleson.
Yeah.
And so, to have you guys come and join us and be a partner with JoCo Fest.
Sure.
Which was gearing up to be a 1-year event. But now one of our main board members wants it to be a twice-a-year event. And we're like, okay, I guess we're going.
Yeah.
It's that all-in feeling.
Yeah.
You're going all in.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
So JoCo Fest is coming, and it's for all of Johnson County.
It's so good.
And it's brought to you by JoCo Community Radio and some other people that we can't talk about just yet because we can't break all of it. But JoCoFest.com, it's there, but nothing's there yet. So don't go there. We'll tell you when you can go there and start looking into information, all the things that is coming with that. And I mean, you've been doing this for years. You know how to do it. You know how to do it.
She knows how to do it. I just know how to talk about it.
Well, what else do you want to tell people about what you have going on? Because we've got a little over a minute left. What else is happening that's any other breaking news or something different that City on the Hill is doing this year?
Some exciting things that we haven't had in a minute would be free haircuts. Free haircuts are back thanks to House 414.
They're fantastic
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah.
So they're doing free haircuts and free chair massages. So super excited about that.
Nice.
And then lots of just games. We are partnering with the Heights is going to have, they have a little train that they drive around.
A little train that the kids get to
it's
ride in.
Always
Awesome.
a huge fun. So I love to share, like, when we've secured, when those vendors come back that I know, like, the community's super excited about. I'm like, the train's going to be there. So oh goodness, there's so many different.
Yeah,
okay,
there's lots of
someone put
different-
on here meds in our thing. Is there any kind of meds or something?
Are they talking about take back?
I don't know. They just said
Yeah.
meds.
Yeah. Can you clarify your question?
Yeah.
But that would actually probably
But it
be
was
a good...
about when we were
So
talking about
Reach Council is going to be there
Yeah.
with their disposal bags.
Okay.
So they are doing take back. Yeah.
They are
Drug
doing take back. And
Yeah.
actually, I think the 21st is the National Take Back
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
So they'll be there. You'll be able to go to the police departments. And so this is a big deal. We put the link, if you're on social, the link is there. Search for City on a Hill on Facebook for more information. Thank you guys for joining us.
Absolutely.
God
Thanks
bless.
for having us.
We'll be back after the break.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look,
Miss Dixie,
look.
how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys.
Hi,
I just
Mom.
wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I
my
would rather
God.
have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
Hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
Love
girl.
you.
I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities
My mom. Love you.
Dixie.
Bye. I love you too.
with Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JoCo Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
And welcome back to the second half of JoCo Community Radio. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to the tuneinjoco.com to choose where and how. The JoCo Community Radio app is now available for free on Android or Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more on JoCo Community Radio. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed.
Who's that?
Me. And, at 844 text HELL. That's 844-839-4245 and get me in your corner.
Before
the
next storm hits.
But we can do it after too. But
Well,
still,
you could, but you want to get them.
Get me there.
You don't have to wait till the storm
That's
hits.
right.
Get you in their
A
corner
lot of people
before it even
don't-
happens.
A lot of people don't understand. They might already have damage from a previous
storm.
I
got the squeaky chair.
That you got the squeaky chair.
I did.
That they need to be aware of that. So
Yeah,
because they might need to be collecting now, not later.
it's not just hail, wind.
Yes.
Lots of things happen. So
Yes.
the weather. I'm Tiffany Carlin with Nona Reed. Good morning. This Thankful
morning.
Thursday, second half of Thankful Thursday here on JoCo Vibes. So grateful for Lisa Schwartz
Yes.
and her team for keeping City on a Hill going, and Liz just does such a phenomenal job with the event, and with with all the events that they put on, and they've been an incredible asset to the community all of these years, and so we're so grateful. So we've put a link on social if you are watching. It is in the comments, facebook.com/events on the, and just search City on a Hill. It's really
Right.
the easiest way. For me to read off this event number is, that's just going to be, it's a long one.
And
you know what I mean?
a lot of the services that are going to be there. I mean,
Yeah, they're doing,
that's
a free mammogram, free well woman,
Mhm.
drug take back with the Reach Council, who has a show here on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Central Time. Something you definitely want to tune into, whether you're a parent or not. I mean, they talk about so many preventative things that are necessary for our communities to be successful and healthy. So definitely want to join in with them, support them, become part of the coalition, and assist us together with getting
Yeah.
the message out about all the important things that keep our kids alive, and the adults too. So so many awesome things that you'll get to, and we'll talk more about City on a Hill over the coming weeks to give you a reminder. But right now we really got to talk about some reminders that are happening right now, and that is early voting in Johnson County, Texas. Well,
Yeah.
all across Texas, you've got
Right.
early voting happening for local elections, and school board, school bond is what's happening right now. School board, city council runoffs, city bonds, school bonds. Okay, it's
Well, no, it's city. So most of our cities have an election going on, not runoffs. We have primary
I'm
runoffs,
sorry.
but those are May 24th.
No, I wasn't
Right.
talking about primary runoffs.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about primary. I was
Okay.
talking about city, because we do have some city council in other cities, not
Yes.
not Burleson.
doesn't have any seats open this,
Cleburne
this
right.
year.
Cleburne has seats open.
Basically,
Do you have that in front of you?
basically, Keene, Alvarado. Wait, sorry.
I'm gonna let you pull it up really quick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give everybody the focus word of the week.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll pull it up.
Yeah. So the focus. Let me put some peepers on. Focus word of the week is clarity. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, "You are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Luke 10:41-42. The focus tip is for the word clarity. God is never surprised. He knows exactly what you are facing and what your future holds. So instead of guessing what your next steps should be, ask the one who can clear things up for you. When you find yourself confused this week, whisper the word clarity and ask him to open your eyes to the bigger picture, and get ready to be amazed. Oh man. Okay. That goes along with so much I'm reading right now, because I'm reading a really awesome book by Kathy Gifford. That's like totally blanked out of my mind. I'm like, what's her name again? And it's called The Jesus I Know, and it's conversations that she has with a bunch of different friends, Kevin Costner, Kristen Chenoweth. I'm right in the beginning of the book, so I'm on her conversation with Kristen Chenoweth right now.
I love her
The
too.
foreword really, it talks deeply about conversations she's had with Kevin Costner, and how they first, he just reached out to her.
Mhm.
He saw something, he reached out to her and was like, "Hey, I thought you need to hear this." And they weren't friends yet, and of course now they're really, really good friends because of that. So it's a really cool book. And then and so Kristen Chenoweth talks in there about that. She's been saved, like I have been, since I was a little kid.
Mhm.
I don't know any different. I just knew that I always believed,
Right.
because of teaching, being taught that way, being raised that way. And then, of course, I accepted Christ myself when I was 11 years old and was baptized then. She was Kristen Chenoweth. I believe she said I think she was 8. And so it's really interesting to see these different stories. So when you get into the different chapters of conversations with the different friends, it's literally in a scripted way, meaning they recorded it. And so it tells you, here's what Kathy says, then Kristen responds, and so on and so forth.
Cool.
And so you're getting it first person from each of them,
Right.
how this conversation was taking place and the breakdown of their faith and the Jesus they know. And so I'm that's kind of where I'm at right now. But at the same time, I'm listening to Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
And I've been listening to it for like a year, but it's because I forgot about Audible for a while. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, my Audible account.
I finished mine, and now we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, man, I really want to go back and listen to that again.
I'm a reader.
I like listening to it.
Well, I'm a reader. I really, really, really love books, and I love to read them, but it's also my learning style too. So for me to absorb it, I've got to read. I'm a read, write, and listen. I really like to do all three. So while I'm listening to Green Lights, I'm taking notes.
That's what I did too. Now I can't remember where I put my notes. Somewhere here in the office.
Well, I go back to then where I'm telling my husband about the book, and these parts that have really, really stuck with me, which is a lot of Green Lights, and then I've been letting my son listen to it when he's in the car with me, and so I'll give him an option on the way to school. I'm like, okay, so you want to hear news, or do you want to? Are we listening to Matthew McConaughey? Are we listening to Green Lights? And he's like, oh, Green Lights, let's put it on. And so I'm actually getting the book now because they both want to read it, and I want to read it now. I want to dive in deeper, and I like to take my time.
Annotate in the book.
I want to take my time with it. I mean, my mom was an antiquarian book dealer. I grew up loving books, the history of books, the value of books, and the convenience of Audible is you can continue listening while you're driving or running or walking. I don't run, I walk, unless you're chasing me and you're on fire or something like that. Then maybe I'll run. But other than that, or run to save my kid, but other than that, I'm not running, I'm a walker. So there's convenience with that, but I like the touch and the feel of a book. You can see that by looking at my nightstand and all over our house that we're book people. And I have my mom's collection, and not me personally, but all of us kids. And so there's just something about that to where you could go back and read the words. I'm not one for highlighting in books. I don't, especially first editions. I'm very, very particular about that because it ruins the value of the book if that's important to you, and that's important to me. It's just the way I was raised. Like,
or I remember the first time the church I was going to, which now it's like second nature to me. When we were talking, they were like, highlighter, use a pen. So they taught us
in your Bible,
crayon, yellow crayon does great highlighting, and on that certain kind of paper, it's great. And then a pen. At first, I was like, oh, I'm defacing the Bible. But now it's actually great because I can go back there to that, verse and then go, oh yeah, here's some notes I've taken. So it's great. As a former reading teacher, we taught kids to annotate. Now, some teachers go crazy and tell them they have to annotate every paragraph and then that's just overkill.
Right. But don't you think that's habit forming though too, that they're to do it over and over and over again creates a habit of doing it and knowing how to break down a paragraph to find that what's the nugget, what's the takeaway from it. I can't bring myself to highlight in my Bible. I never have. My Bible is it was
a handmade.
It was my grandmother's. It was
I do
my
have one of
Bible.
those, but I don't write in that one. This one is one that I personally got for myself.
It was my grandma Ruth's, and this is the only Bible I use, and it's still in the same carry bag that she had. And so if you open it up, you'll find church bulletins stuck in certain places. you know, and
1973.
no, they're mine. They're mine.
Oh.
She never highlighted or wrote in it either.
Yeah,
And
because that was kind of unheard of too.
yeah,
Write in your Bible.
I
But
I can't bring myself to do it. And when I pass it down someday to one of my kids,
Mhm.
if they want it, or a grandchild,
Mhm.
whatever, or even a friend, I want them to have something fresh to look at
Right.
too. And so this is the one I won't. But what I will leave is sticky notes,
Mhm.
bulletin markers, whatever I stuck in there for that verse that I read. And so they can see, oh my gosh, I wonder what it was here.
Right.
I take, notes on the back of the bulletin when I'm in church, and those types of things are all in there. And I would get to a point to where I would have like 2 inches of bulletins on the inside of my Bible bag,
Uh-huh.
to where I go, okay, it's time to clean them out. And for a while I kept them because I thought it was really interesting to go back and
Uh-huh.
see what I wrote. I actually may have kept them. I just have to figure out
Yeah.
where,
No.
after construction, it's hard to figure out where I put everything. I think they're actually all up in my armoire. I think I have a stack of papers in there. And so it's usually it's one of those things where, I do like to go back and look at and go, oh, that was Easter of blah, blah, 2017. Look what I wrote, or look what the sermon was about. What was my takeaway? And so now I kind of just do it differently. With Matthew McConaughey's book, Lori and I were talking about this last night and the night before. And I ended up, I was taking notes and saving stuff. And then I was like, I bet you there's a place where I can find like all of the amazing quotes from Green Lights, because there's so many,
Mhm.
so many. If you haven't listened or read this book yet, I highly recommend it. He is one of the most authentic people I think any of us could ever meet in this world. And his journey is laid out in Green Lights. And it's absolutely amazing. I
It
don't have to
is,
tell you
yeah.
because you read it. So there is a place where you can, if you Google Matthew McConaughey Green Lights quotes, best quotes,
Mhm.
it'll come up under goodreads.com.
Yeah.
It's on there. And so there's so many in here. But this clarity part, it speaks the focus word of the week, if you're just joining us, is clarity. Excuse me. If you're looking to it. And so this is one that I actually took notes, and I had to like pause, go back and listen, pause. Okay, did I get that right? Because I wanted to have the quote right. And so this is a quote from Matthew McConaughey from the book Green Lights that really stuck out. One of the ones that stuck out to me. Style is knowing who you are, what you want to say, and not giving a damn. And then I wrote something that I can't read. Like completely typoed. I can't even. It looks like, I'm sorry. No,
You probably did the
no,
whole
I'm an idiot.
text
No.
thing.
Could you please seriously? No, I was not doing voice to text. I was typing it, but listen, it's the name of the person whose quote that is. It just totally stuck. It just totally stuck out to me. Like, oh, duh, you're a total idiot. Style is knowing who you are, what you want to say, and not giving a damn. And it's a quote from Gore Vidal.
Okay.
And then he says, and I'm gonna not say it exactly like I typed it, because some people get offended by the F word, but isn't that the effing truth?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have these in that order. Hear that again. You got to have these in that order. You got to know who you are and what you want to say, and not giving a damn. But knowing who you are is the base of which everything else comes from. I've got more style than I've ever had before, but I am still adding to it. You know who you are when you become independent enough to believe your own thoughts and become responsible for your actions. You believe what you want and live what you believe. Live what you believe. That's clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
That's total clarity. I'm going to read just the end of that quote again. You know who you are when you become independent enough to believe your own thoughts. You know who you are when you become independent enough to believe your own thoughts and become responsible for your actions. You believe what you want and live what you believe. Whatever that does for you, whatever that nugget does for you.
Right.
You know, I hope that you will sincerely, morning, Brock.
Morning.
I hope that you sincerely
I still can't see the
think about those words and what that means to you. And I tell you what that means to me. And these past 2 years have been extremely challenging. I've talked about it. I've made some mistakes. There's no doubt about it. I've questioned the way
we're human, aren't we all?
Right. I've questioned the way I've responded to some things. And and when someone pointed out that that was out of my character to post a meme about someone, I'll just be specific about that, without mentioning names. When a friend called me out and said, that was really out of character for you. What's going on? I said, you know what? You're right. And so I took the picture part off. I didn't take the post down because that post, I meant every word of that post. It was about my sister and my relationship with my sister. And, standing up for her and backing her as a candidate because I believe in her.
Right.
Because she's a good person. And so, but the meme part, the meme part of the other person, it was out of character for me. I'm okay to own that. I took the picture down. Did I offer an apology to her? No, I didn't. But I'm well enough to know and have said, okay, that was out of character for me. I reacted and responded in a way that I normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Right. And so those are the types of actions that I'm talking about owning. Does that mean that when we own those things about ourselves that we have to get onto a big public platform and tell the whole world? I mean,
no.
What I as a person, and would hope that anybody else as a person who's made choices like that they didn't agree with, and you realize it's revelating that, wow, that's not like me. That's between you and God.
Right.
And self-forgiveness is more important than any other forgiveness, and God's forgiveness. And those are the two, when we're talking about yourself individually, that those are the two pieces of forgiveness that are most important. And I can only control my own self-forgiveness.
Right.
I know God's going to forgive me because he said he would. So those are the only two things that I know and can control in a way, because I can't be forgiven unless I ask for forgiveness from God. But what other people choose to forgive or not forgive is not under my control.
Right.
And so I hope that when you're seeking clarity this week and beyond, that's one of the things that you do seek is to learn to forgive other people, whether they've come to you and knocked on your door and said, please forgive me, or I'm so sorry. Sometimes there's little nuggets that we miss when people do regret things that they've done or said, but they haven't said it directly to you, or their actions haven't spoken to that. I mean, I've experienced that too, right? So, and instead, retaliation and reaction and response, to that. So, but that's their stuff to deal with. That's their issues to deal with. I can only deal with my own clarity.
It also depends on how much hate they have in their heart. I mean, some of these people that we've been watching, they ultimately have some hatred and anger issues.
But that comes with lack of forgiveness too.
It's not us specifically. It's like they're mad at the world or something, and they want to find people.
I don't take it personally.
Well,
I mean, it's hard not to. I did.
Well, I mean, some
I did, right?
I know. I'm talking about some of the certain peoples that have personally attacked.
Oh, sure.
Saying our name, or making fun of something, a situation. If you don't know us personally,
I don't even think that it would matter if a person knows another person personally. When they're suffering on the inside,
right?
It goes back again to that hurt people hurt people.
Correct.
And that's really what it comes down to. So, it can be very, very challenging to pray for people who have hurt you, but they're hurting on the inside.
Yes.
And again, I go back to that word of clarity, right? And Matthew McConaughey talking about this. I mean, you owning what you believe.
Correct.
And behaving in a manner of what you believe.
Correct.
And having that clarity to know to know the difference and be able to really look at it all.
And you don't have to tear down people, because
you don't have to
you
tear
and I
people down.
have certain things we've talked about that you strongly believe and I strongly believe, but we've never torn each other down.
You mean differently?
Yes.
And you mean on opposite sides,
Right?
Because you're a conservative and I am not.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Although I've been accused of.
Yes.
Whatever. It is. That just comes down to some of that crazy stuff. But
right.
But it's okay. And we've had our heated discussions about things that we don't agree on politically or otherwise. And it's okay to not agree with other people.
And
it's totally okay.
Like them.
Well, I have respect for you. You have your opinion and things that you've researched that
I feel strongly about.
You feel strongly
just
about
the same as you.
Right. And that is what it is. Go be those things. And it's crazy. Here's a great way to put it. When we've disagreed on things, we didn't take to social media and type up about what we disagreed, what I disagree with you about.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I think everybody knows I didn't vote for Trump. All of my friends who are Republicans and conservatives know that I did not vote for Trump. Okay. And you still like me because of it.
Right.
Because we can respect each other for each other's differences. And I respect all of you for who you chose to vote for. That is what it is.
Right.
I've never taken to social media and tore up any of you because you didn't believe.
Right.
We didn't vote for the same person.
Correct.
And we didn't believe in our reasonings why or any of that. And nor did you do that to me. There's no purpose in it.
Correct.
There is no value in it. That is not the purpose of social media. Mm-hmm. It's okay to voice your opinion, but you don't have to be an asshole about it.
Correct.
I'm sorry. I don't know for anybody who has sensitive ears. I mean, you don't have to be that person. You can be passionate about who you stand up for, who you believe in without being that person. Mm-hmm. I could tell you I've gotten heated over the past couple of years. There's no doubt about it, but I was never disrespectful to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, except for the meme that I put up and I took down because I knew that was out of character for me. Right. If you attack my family, you're damn straight I'm going to defend my family, especially if you're a liar. Mm-hmm. So, and I expect this of anybody else. I expect this of anybody else standing up for someone. You should not be quieted. You shouldn't be silenced. You shouldn't be canceled over that. I just saw this yesterday, for a friend of ours who is who's been on the radio station, and she's very, very passionate about the Joshua School bond, and shared great information about it, and was literally someone used God against her as if God telling her that God expects you to be quiet. Go use your voice in the vote. And that is not what we are to do. And that God went into
Jesus polite about everything.
I know, but Jesus went into the temple, right? When he didn't agree what was going on with the gambling and everything was happening. He didn't stand quiet.
Correct.
On the sidelines, he spoke up.
Yes.
Right? So you should never be silenced, and no one should ever ask you to be quiet. I live in Burleson, but listening to you live in Boston, Massachusetts, I like what you got to say. Stay strong. Hey, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Pack the car in the Harvard Yard while you're there in Boston, okay? I mean that respectfully because I'm from the East Coast.
Yes.
And we were just talking about, that's so funny. We were just talking about Massachusetts accents last night with my husband and my son. So, Mike, I hope you have an amazing time while you're in Boston. Definitely go see as many of the old churches as you can.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's just such massive history there. But we got 20 seconds.
We never got back to there's a lot of school districts and cities, and then there's 2 bonds. We've got
look them up.
City and Burleson. Yes.
Early voting
I
is
do have
happening.
a cheat sheet that we'll just post on
Yeah,
on
we'll post it on
our
JoCo Community Radio. Check out, and be sure to go download our app, JoCo Community Radio, on Android and Apple.
Right.
It's free. Go out, be kind, and be grateful. It's Thankful
And don't forget
Thursday.
Choke Fest this Sunday.
Yes, that's right.
From 12 to 10:30.
Have an amazing weekend. God bless.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
Hey, Jill, congratulations on your son getting into the college of his dreams and with